Always thinking of yourself, just with those gasms. Always thinking
Somebody
of
needs
yourself.
to.
And now, Cheese Wits.
Look, I bought a new backup cable for my microphone. Look how fucking fat this is. And I never have heard anything about. Now, this is called the Gig Snake. I've never heard anybody refer to my Gig Snake as fat, but look how fat this is. I don't know if you can see it.
That's a microphone cable?
Yes.
Wow.
It's fucking fat as shit.
Only thing I heard about is how fat my snake is.
Well, now, of course, now we can hear Chris.
Of course you can.
It's the only time anybody's ever said fat and snake and mine to me in the same fucking phrase.
Good God.
I was showing, can you see this, Chris? Can you see how fat this microphone cable is?
That is a fat snake, Wally.
It is a fat snake. But here's the beautiful thing. So I bought this to have another backup because I'm the king of having backups. Vintage woven. The fuck does that mean?
That means you got taken for a few extra dollars.
They used to weave microphone cables like this. I don't know. Are we going back to like
what vintage had woven microphone cables?
Well,
I believe it was 1942.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. In my head, I was thinking Hank Williams Sr.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're going before that. I think you're going to something Hitler talked into.
Oh,
I mean, it's
yeah. Okay. Good for you and your fat snake.
The Mein Kampf shit.
Yeah. And enjoy. Great. You're going to get us canceled now. Good job.
Oh, no. I know that Jess has a conversation that will definitely get us canceled, but will be yet another advertising partner.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
As do I.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't wait.
Jessica, will you please? Oh, first, can we answer the question?
Yeah.
So someone asked us on Facebook, Chris, how we came up with the name Cheese Wits. For the show.
It was Chris's idea.
Yeah, it was Chris's idea.
Yeah.
So my idea was, I think, vitriolic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I went back because I was trying to put vitriol and wit together.
I had a bunch of ideas that were kind of
crappy.
Excuse the pun, cheesy.
I'm not saying.
I wanted to call us eargasm, but that was taken a long time. Or podcasm, but that was already taken.
Always thinking of yourself, just with those gasms.
Mm-hmm.
Always thinking
somebody
of
needs to.
Hey,
Lord.
Chris came up with the cheese. Chris, how did you come up with the cheese wits? Were you having a snack?
I have no idea what I had for fucking lunch yesterday, let alone how I came up with a podcast title.
I remember we were all pretty gleeful, and it did not take us long.
No, we tossed a couple of names around, and then we said, Chris, do you have any ideas? And he said 3 words, and we were like, Cheese Wits is it! Yay!
And then I think it took all of 5 minutes to say, okay, Jess said, okay, I'll put together the website. And I think that just shortly after we talked, I sent information on the email address. And then we got I got somebody to make we talked about the logo, and then we hired somebody to bring our vision to life.
And then I got Dave Steele to say, and now Cheese Wits.
But wait, let's talk about, there was only one problem with the original logo design. Do you remember what it was, Jess?
Was it that my hair was brown?
That was it.
Yeah.
My hair's not red enough.
It wasn't red at all.
I know. There was no fire in your hair.
And this whole time I thought it was going to be the cease and desist from Nabisco that would get us, not the hair color.
We're still waiting for Nabisco to find out about it.
Yes, we are.
Oh, yeah. It'd be nice. Maybe they'll adopt us.
Thank God we're not popular.
The phone is always listening, which is clear. So in Facebook all the time, when Facebook goes through and gets ads, they're always for fucking Cheez-Its now. All the fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Not for me.
When I do like a quick search, I'll do a quick I want to listen, because I usually do this in my car, and I'll just do the speak into the phone deal. Say, okay, bring up Cheez-Wits. I want to listen to the podcast while I'm driving. It's always fucking Cheez-Its.
Mm-hmm.
And I yell at my phone. No, I said fucking Cheez-Wits.
God damn it, Gail. I done told you.
Gail doesn't give a shit. She mocks me.
Yeah,
Of
she
course.
doesn't care.
All right, Jess, who will not be advertising with us?
FedEx will not be advertising with us. That's for sure. Which is funny because my brother and one of
how's
my
that?
best friends both work for FedEx.
Your brother works for FedEx?
My brother is a driver for FedEx.
Ah.
And I texted him. So essentially I ordered a futon, big piece of furniture for my office studio here. And the FedEx driver, first of all, they have started like Amazon. They take a picture of
Yes.
the delivery. This motherfucker took the picture from his truck with the dolly sitting outside of his truck, but he hadn't done anything with the package yet. So essentially, he took a picture of my house and evidence that he had a dolly. Okay. He then put this 70-pound box on the dolly, rolled it over to my front porch, and left it at the bottom of the stairs. I watched him later on the Ring camera. He didn't even try. He didn't even consider bringing it up the stairs onto the porch. He was on the phone at the time, rolled it over, put it at the bottom of the steps, and carried his happy ass back to his truck. So I sent a picture of where the package, the same picture that I posted on Facebook and Instagram. I sent that picture to my brother and I said, look at what one of your fucking useless coworkers did. Now my brother's in another state, so, he obviously doesn't know the guy, but he's
brethren.
Yeah. He said, yes, some drivers are really lazy. And then he said, you probably shouldn't tag FedEx on social media because sometimes the drivers will jump on and harass you. And I was like, oh, I wish the fuck they would.
You'll have a website made for that guy quick.
I wish the fuck they would.
Delve into his history.
Yeah. So I had to have thankfully there's a friend who lives not too far from me and he was able to swing by after work and he didn't even have a dolly. He just rolled it up the steps.
Yeah. Walked it up the steps.
Yeah.
But it should have been marginally easy for two people, 70 pounds, but the guy should have at least put it up on the porch, I think.
Yeah. That's what they're supposed to do.
What's going to happen next time, Jess?
He's going to leave it in the middle of the street.
Yeah, or he's going to lean it right up against your door so you can't open the fucking door.
But you know what? It's never the same driver twice. So
see, that's a problem. I think that's a problem because I know when I used to get weekly FedEx packages back when my business was in swing for 2 years, for 2 years, for nearly 20 years, I had the same FedEx woman for about 18 years. Was that
deliveries to your house or to a business?
Yes, right to my house.
Oh.
To my house.
Because I was going to say, I know my brother does business deliveries. As a matter of fact, he texted me about our conversation about crumble cookies and said, those mean crumble ladies, whenever I deliver to their business every single day, they force me to take free cookies.
Those bitches.
And I thanked him for his sacrifice.
Yes, those bitches.
For his service to our country.
So I had the same person. So I had a relationship with her.
Yeah.
And it was a good relationship. So, I could go and say, oh, hey, I'm not going to be around next Friday when you bring this. So would you drop it here? Yeah, sure. Never had a problem until I started getting alternating people. She retired, and then I started getting they'd have this person for 2 weeks and this person for a couple weeks and a fill in here, and they sucked because you couldn't create a relationship.
Yeah, I've never seen the same driver come twice for FedEx.
Now, was that a note? I thought I saw a note on your thing. Was that from FedEx that said, "Hey, contact me or contact us with what the issue is"?
Yeah. So
Don't contact them. They're gonna say, "Hey, just right."
No, I did
us about
contact
you.
them, and I gave them all of the information, and they then sent it. I was actually pleasantly surprised. The only thing that really would have resolved it is if they had sent somebody over immediately to bring the box up on the porch, so that I didn't have to beg my friends to come over and help me with it. But they did let the local area station know. The station called me the next morning, and the social media guy did not send the picture along with the complaint. And so the guy from the local station said, "Can you email me that picture?" And I did that. And he said, "I'm going to let the route manager know. And in the meantime, this is the direct number to the local station. Hold on to it. So if anything happens like that again, you can contact us directly, and you don't have to go through the whole corporate chain of trying to find a human being to talk to."
You know that the next time they ever deliver this, if this guy delivers to your house, your Ring camera is going to pick him up pissing on your package.
Well,
I'll say next week's show is going to be, so I got a FedEx box today. It was one of those, things, the overnight shipping, and it was full of dog shit. I don't know how it got here.
You know it. Oh God. It's going to be, I empathize with you entirely, because I see this, on my deliveries that I do. I often see people will block people's doorways, and they do. They just stack shit up right against their door.
yeah, you commented that on my private page.
Yeah,
And I gave you back a picture of when an Amazon driver did that last year with a box of dog food. So it was like a 50-pound box sitting in front of my door. And at that house, I couldn't get out. Like, if I went out my back door to go around, my gate was locked. So there was no way for me to get back around to the front door. So I actually had to have a neighbor come over and move the box for me so that I could get out.
you have to send crazy bitch out there with a gun next time.
Yeah, no kidding. At least here, had they done that, I could get out through the garage and get around.
Okay, so FedEx. Well, so now you sort of FedEx redeemed themselves a little, so maybe they still are a potential.
Well, they probably don't appreciate me calling them out publicly on social media on 2 different accounts. So
okay, so
probably they won't want to sponsor us.
Chris, who do you have your brother-in-law is with you, or your future brother-in-law?
Well, he's sitting here with me, about to drop him off. Yeah. I mean, he can't hear what the hell's going on because it's in my ear.
Oh.
He's listening to the Orioles game. Okay. Well, now he says it's over, so he's intently listening to what I'm saying, but not anything else.
Oh.
That's probably worth the price of admission.
No.
I mean, he ignores you. Sort of like us.
Everybody, didn't you know there's a TV show about 15 years ago called Everybody Hates Chris?
Everybody Hates Chris,
okay.
yeah. Yep. Wasn't that about Chris
Everybody
Rock?
Hates Chris. It's fucking true.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, it was about Chris Rock. I think there was a cartoon too, wasn't there? I think there was a cartoon of the same name as well.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, Chris Rock was rocking.
Chris Rock, not Chris Roth.
Yeah, but he was rocking. He was ultra positive. Yeah, ultra popular. But that happens. They pick out people, right? Doesn't this happen quite often? People Magazine or Us Magazine and Entertainment Weekly and Entertainment Tonight. This is the new hot person. It doesn't matter what field, whether it's comedy or the singer of the day, and they become unbelievably popular for a month and a half, or they have a good 2-year run, and then they fucking just shit can them again until they say, "Oh, they're making a comeback." 10 years later, no, they were always there. You just fucking weren't paying any attention,
right?
Because you had somebody else on your radar.
Till Will Smith punched him in the face.
Right, and then you monetize it. Good for Chris Rock. Nothing wrong with that. Take a punch. I wish Will Smith would punch me in the face.
Will Smith can punch me in the dick if you give me some money. I don't care.
Yeah, me too. Go right ahead. Listen, I will fucking sleep with Jada Pinkett Smith if it gets Will Smith to punch me in the face.
Ooh,
and I think my wife would allow it.
So
She might take pictures.
Slight subject change, but not really, because my train of thought just went to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and cheating
The
and
threesome you had.
marriages. No, it's about how I almost ruined and saved a marriage in the exact same moment.
What?
Really?
So my Google Voice phone number rang the other day.
You mean your burner phone?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And the same number had been calling me for days. And so finally, and I had ignored it because I didn't know who it was. So finally I answered it. And after I said hello, a woman's voice said, hello? And that fucking pisses me off. Like, what? What do you want? So I was like, who's this? She said, this is Becky. Who's this? And I was like, Becky.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Right?
Oh,
I said, Becky, you called me and you've been calling me for days. So how about you tell me what it is you need from me? And there's like a long pause. And she goes, did I put my husband's phone number in my phone wrong?
That's fucking awesome.
So all this time, the whole reason she said, this is Becky, who's this, is because she thought some bitch was answering her husband's phone.
Can you
Yeah, but can you imagine her?
You're going you got a couple days of this, and the husband has to have come home by now. And she's like, why aren't you answering the fucking phone?
She said, she asked him, why aren't you answering when I call? And she said, and he's been going, you haven't called me.
Oh, he's been doing the old deny.
Yep.
You didn't call me.
You know what? This is going in a really odd direction. You just watch out. There's going to be some fucking Nigerian prince trying to give you money, shitting in a FedEx box coming to your house soon. Okay.
Oh my word! The whole fucking. It's like all the stars have to align for that bullshit to happen.
Right.
It all has to align. That poor bastard for probably a week. She's just been chewing him up and spitting him out. And if she is anything like you, Jess, just saying, she was tormenting that motherfucker.
She probably was.
That guy was walking around with his asshole nickel tight.
Yep.
You know, just like, ooh. And she just telling him, and she's and in her head, it's going, he's sleeping with that fucking Veronica. I know it. He's fucking around with Veronica. I know it. Are you fucking around with Veronica?
And then Veronica answers the phone.
That's too fucking funny.
Good Lord. Could you imagine though, if she stopped and just hung up, what the conversation would have been like that night? That Veronica cunt answered your phone.
Or if he knew someone named, well, you didn't tell your name, so she couldn't have said. So she could have said that Veronica. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean Veronica said? I don't even know Veronica's number. I do. I'm going to call the bitch right now. Oh, fucking fabulous.
I was just like, no, ma'am, there are no husbands here. We don't keep them around.
Did you have a little so you had a little conversation with her after?
Yeah, a little bit, when she was just like, I am so sorry. And I was like, no, you're fine. Get your husband's real phone number though.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. And then they talked for a little bit. Can you believe this shit, Wally? They're going to Bob's Big Boy next week. This is great.
Oh.
We're now best friends.
You know what? I used to fucking love Bob's Big Boy.
Oh, I used to tear apart a fucking hot fudge cake. Are
you kidding me?
I would almost fuck a hot fudge cake. Okay.
When they said Abdal's Big Boy or Bob's Big Boy, the big guy with the big fucking hamburger. Oh man. There were fabulous places to eat. Bob's Big Boy, and I like a Woolworth's diner. Have you ever eaten in a Woolworth's diner?
I think when I was like 3.
Diner? What the fuck is this segregation in Alabama? What the fuck, the Woolworth's diner?
And when I was growing up in Worcester, Massachusetts, there was
you
a
actually
Woolworth.
had one up there?
Yes, they did. They had a Woolworth.
We had
and
one
it
in
was
my hometown.
Yeah, there was a
my
Woolworth, and then there was a little diner. It probably had 15 spinners,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd go in and yeah, there were no booths. It was just spinners.
They had something like that here. Now that I remember, but keep in mind, I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
With my grandmother going into one of these places, and it wasn't Kmart. It was pre-Kmart, Kresge's, which they had a soda fountain like that, all spinners. And when they served you a Coke, there was like a plastic base to the cup, but the Coke went into like one of those doctor's office funnel cups.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those fucking places were awesome. Even we had another place I lived. We had a pharmacy that still had a soda fountain counter where you could get an ice cream or a soda or something. And again, it had like, I don't know, 6 or 7 spinners. Not a lot of spinners because they were moving away from the good old days and moving into we sell FISA and we make millions of dollars doing it. So they're moving away from it. But I fucking loved the Woolworths place. And the other great place to eat, Howard Johnson's. Howard Johnson's fucking restaurants were the best.
Get
as well.
Some fish and chips and some Hojo Cola.
Oh,
those were the days.
I liked the fish with macaroni and cheese and Hojo Cola.
There you go.
And that's the other thing, Hojo Cola. Friendlies used to not serve Coca-Cola. They served Friendly Cola.
They
I
did?
worked at Friendlies.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I worked at Friendlies. Friendly Cola.
I loved me some Friendlies. I do not remember them not calling their Cokes.
Oh, yeah. I have to go to Friendlies for dinner tonight. I was thinking about going to the Olive Garden, but now I'm thinking I'm going to have to find a Friendlies.
Are there still Friendlies?
They're almost all closed. Do you have
I saw some. Here's the thing. So I made this road trip to Ontario, or Toronto, rather. And coming back through upstate New York and down the side toward Pennsylvania, there's Friendlies all over the place on whatever road that was, 90 or
96.
I was coming down Route 15,
84?
whatever turns into 15, over toward Erie that way.
Is that 84?
It might be. It might be. But I saw a bunch of signs for Friendlies there.
Now that I think about it, I feel like someone I went to high school with recently went back home to Ithaca and might have posted a picture from Friendlies.
We have only one Friendlies left that I'm aware of in Maine. The other one near us closed. Friendlies, I liked their breakfast sausage. Was not that pre-cooked stuff. It was the nice round sausage, regular like link sausage.
Right.
Way better than that pre-cooked, we heated up sausage. This they had to actually cook it on the grill. They had good sausage and their eggs. They usually cooked very well. Didn't overcook them. I like a Friendlies and the Friendlies. The only thing that kind of stinks about Friendlies was the clam boat or the clam and a hot dog roll. It was always clam strips. I like the bellies, baby. Give me the fat.
I like fried. Yeah, I like fried clam strips. I've always liked them.
Mm-hmm.
Used to get those at Howard Johnson's out of all places.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Those places. Of course, now we get Applebee's. I would take a Howard Johnson's or a Friendlies over an Applebee's or a 99 or a Chili's.
Dude, I would sit there. I got to tell you something, and I think my love for women, but I would suck a dick to be able to go to fucking Shoney's again. Okay.
Oh,
I mean, there's Shoney's here.
There's none here. There's none around here. They've closed all the Shoney's, all the big boys, all that shit.
Come on down to Nashville. We got Shoney's.
Do they have the Shoney's breakfast buffet?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, God.
Fucking hell.
Can I tell you the amount of incredible bowel movements I've had after going to the Shoney's breakfast buffets?
Nothing like a little E. coli to get you moving.
Oh man. And you know what? I think the last time I had a good breakfast BM was actually in Tennessee. It was over on the eastern side of the state, coming down from Virginia into Tennessee. There was a Shoney's right on the border. What was that, Danville or something like that? And yeah, it was about 20 years ago, but that was the best shit I've taken, man.
Oh, the Shoney's breakfast buffet. We had one when I was living in Vermont. I think it was in Colchester or maybe Winooski. Oh man, that fucking Shoney's buffet, breakfast
And
buffet.
you could do
Ooh.
anything you wanted with a breakfast buffet. I had shit on a shingle on top of fucking sliced oranges. It was the best thing in the world. I know you think, God, that's awful, but it's great.
Oh, and you could eat 4 pounds of bacon at once.
Absolutely. There was no judgment inside of a Shoney's. You know, I remember picking up bacon off of my plate, and there's like 4 or 5 strips stuck to each other. So it turned into this hardened, candied mess. And I just picked it up and took a bite out of it. And I guess I was with my first wife, and she said, "You can't do that." I said, "Are they going to throw me the fuck out? Get the fuck out of here."
This is a Shoney's buffet.
Right. What the fuck are they going to do? There's probably more E. coli on that bar than there is in my bum. And you're going to say they're going to throw me out?
The other thing about a Shoney's buffet is, unlike the Chinese buffet, it's fresh. They just keep putting more on it, and
they keep coming. With the Chinese buffet up here, I mean, to be fair, they do keep bringing out more and more old food.
Same here.
So, which is great. I mean, the food, God knows, it was made 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
But
that's it. The General Chow here, the General Chow chicken at the buffet here has become a hard ball of just, you could break a tooth on it, because they don't put fresh stuff in until it's all gone.
The General So chicken here at the buffet here, the General So's chicken is so old. It was when the General was a private. Okay. it's that fucking old.
And see, the problem with eating things like General So's chicken at a buffet is that they make it for everybody so that there's no spice to it. And that's supposed to be spicy.
And there goes
Wally and his brand new mic cable.
It's that fucking processor, buddy.
Really?
It's the processor.
I can hear myself great.
Now you went away.
I didn't even touch anything. I don't know what happened.
I think it's your processor.
It's your processor. You were going to turn it down last week.
What do you got for a processor, Wally?
All right, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Oh, my ear just went.
What do you have? What do you got there? Is it a DBX or what?
It's a DBX.
Okay, you're basically gone again. Yeah. But if you've got a DBX, I'll send you another DBX.
Now you're gone. Nope.
Oh, now he's back.
Yeah, you know what? It's my microphone. It's not the processor.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, that's awful. What do you need? Another RE20, Wally?
Yep, I need a new RE20, I guess.
I got a couple of them here. I'll send you one.
I need an RE20.
I'll send you one. Just remind me. I got like 12 of them up here.
No shit.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna turn this up. Now, and my ear now went blank. Now I can't hear. There we go. Now
all right. Well.
All right. I'm all good now. I'm good.
This is like the statue of the 3 monkeys covering their ears, covering their eyes, and covering their dicks. Or no, it's their mouth, not their dicks. It was something though. But yeah, it's like that kind of statue. Why would I say that the monkeys would be covering their dicks?
I don't.
Why would I even say that? Why would I even fucking broach that? Why would I say that out loud?
You're in a weird place, my friend. You're in a weird place.
Chris, the amount of times we ask that about the things that you say.
Oh my God.
Maybe you know what? Maybe it's not the mic. Maybe it's the pot.
It could be the pot. Maybe you should change to another pot.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll change it to a pot 2.
Okay.
To a mic pot 2. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
Maybe that could be a thing.
Maybe that's the problem. All right. So my hate speech, not a hate speech.
Wow.
I got one for you. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get another cancellation out of me later. Go ahead.
Okay. My cancellation is so my furnace went down Thursday, I guess it was.
Jeez, your whole house is falling apart.
No, well, it's 20 some years since any of this stuff's been replaced, but this wasn't a bad thing. The furnace went down. It's just a controller on top of the furnace. It's $100 piece. I know how to change it, blah, blah, blah. I go to the local Lowe's to get the new piece. And actually, I guess I'm going to tell the whole story. The whole story is it went out during the morning when I was not home, like at 6:30 in the morning. And when I got home that evening, Jody told me that, I had to take a cold shower this morning. There was no hot water. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me when it happened? Because I'm going to guess it's the controller on top, the intermittent control switch. and I could have picked up a new one and put it in when I got home. Instead, I got to go back out. I go to 2 different hardware stores. Neither one has one. So then I got to go into the city. This city, it's 11 miles away, which takes you 15 minutes to get there because you're driving 60 the whole way. And I get there and they've got it. And it says in the cage only product, which means they have it locked up because it's some sort of special piece of equipment, which it's not. I go and ask the guy, hey, listen, I need the controller. I tell him exactly what it is, the Honeywell controller, and it says it's in the cage. And this fucker looks at me and says, what cage? And I'm just, well, I don't fucking work here. How am I going to know what fucking cage it is? Well, you got to go find out what cage. It just says cage only. And then he gives me a little shit back and forth. Then he gets on his fucking walkie-talkie.
Where did he think you were going to find that information?
I fucking don't know. By the way, I'm at the Lowe's on this one. Mm-hmm. I just want to get that out there. So he calls an associate. Any associate, this automatically tells you that the guy or the girl who's going to be working is fucking strictly an associate. They're an expert at fucking nothing, right? Mm-hmm. They put shit on the shelf, and I go down to aisle 15. That's where he's going to meet me. I meet the person. It is a guy. I tell him what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Honeywell, blah, blah, blah. He starts looking around the aisle, and he has no idea where they are. And he's standing right the fuck next to it. It's screwed to the shelf and says cage only product. And I said, it's a Honeywell. And I point at him. I said, it's right there. He says, okay. He doesn't read it. He said, that's up front. I said, oh, okay, great. The guy up front told me it was out back. No. It's up front. There's a cage. We go up to the cage. I said, okay, it's a Honeywell, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, we don't carry that product. I said, we were just looking at it. It says Honeywell right on the fucking product. It's pasted on the fucking wall. They don't carry the Honeywell anymore. They've changed it to the cheaper version, blah, blah, blah.
They don't carry like one of the most popular brands?
No.
Okay.
No. And one of the most reliable brands. No, it's because they, in order to charge $105 instead of $145, they got to carry the lesser quality brand. And that's what it turns out to be, right? The cage was 4 feet from the guy who told me, what cage is it in? Had he fucking turned around, and he knew it was in the fucking cage. So when I'm leaving, I tried to be snarky, and I showed it to him as I'm walking out with my receipt and said, oh, it was in that cage right behind you. You could have told me. And he says, well, maybe you ought to get a job here. Oh.
You know what? I'm not even surprised because it's been several years since I've gone to Lowe's specifically because of the way their employees talked to me the last time I did it. Yeah. I was asking questions about I don't even remember what it was. And this man was so condescending to me.
Yeah.
That I was like, I can't stand here anymore because I will go to jail. So I left and went around here. And I know in a lot of places, Home Depot is across the fucking street from Lowe's.
Same here.
So I drove across the street and went to Home Depot. Maybe they don't know any more about their products, but they're sure nicer.
Yeah. Somebody said that to me. The conversation, while it would not have been as diplomatic as your ending.
Well, that's my liberal bullshit.
You know what? If you libs would fucking stand up for your goddamn selves and hold guns once in a while, it would be fine. And this guy says to me, well, how's about you get a job here? I would immediately turn around and say, how's about you suck my dick? Okay.
So would I.
I
know. Well, you're first of all, again, we've all said this. Jess's dick is bigger than most women's. Okay. So I'm not going to say that's a disagreeable thing.
No, I agree with you. And it was one of those cases once I got into the car.
What, on Jess's cock size?
Have you ever, you've been in that position where you said, oh, I should have said? Mm-hmm. I came up with 10 things I should have said. Mm-hmm. But just at that moment, I was just so fucking flabbergasted by this fucking guy. And I hesitate to say man, because a man, a person with some years under their belt and a few Budweisers of one kind or another would not have said that.
Mm-mm. No.
This was this was a 21, 22-year-old, dickhead who figures this job sucks. I fucking don't want to be working. I'd rather be home playing fucking whatever they play on the fucking Nintendo or PlayStation shit. Chris, what do they play?
Jerk off games.
Okay. So on a jerk off game, playing with 11-year-olds, swearing at him, calling them cunts.
You know what? He's lucky that it was you and not me that he said that to.
Oh, I know.
Well,
because
here it comes.
I would have immediately reported him. I would have found a manager in the store, or I would have gone online and reported him.
Yeah, I think you know what. Here's.
You don't like your
right.
job? Well, here, let me fix that for you, you little fucker.
So the best, I think you're absolutely right. However, complaining to the manager in store at 7:30 at night, that's when you have to send to corporate through. You're going to take a picture of that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pick up your phone, go snap, and send that to corporate.
Mm-hmm.
Because the 7:30 nighttime manager at a fucking Lowe's or anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. The kid is 22. The manager's probably 23.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right.
So there's nothing there that can really be done. If it doesn't happen between 9 and 5, or in this case between 6 and 3, probably when the managers of any import or importance are working,
Mm-hmm.
then you're fucked. Because
Yeah.
now it's just fucking front end cashier managers, and not even that. They don't even have a fucking they don't have a cashier open. It's all do your own
Self-checkout.
Yeah, all self-checkout. So you can't even there's nobody to complain to.
Yeah.
You're preaching to the choir at that point. All right, Chris, there's won't be advertising with us. Lowe's. Check them off, Jess. Take them off our long list of potential advertisers.
That list is getting shorter and shorter.
Well,
Chris, who else are we canceling today?
So yesterday, we decided we're going to go ahead and go out to dinner. Okay, fine. We actually had tickets to up here what's known as a gun raffle. Okay. And the gun raffle is you buy a ticket and you get a buffet dinner. If they call your number, you win a gun, and you get more chances to win a gun while you're there. Most people in a lot of cities, they call this bingo. Here they call it a gun raffle.
Which is funny when you consider how hard it is to get a carry permit in Maryland.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. They'll push it through really goddamn quick up here in this area from what I hear. But whatever. It's fine. Do I need a gun? No, it's fine. I just wanted a piece of chicken, maybe some mashed potatoes. I don't know. But the princess didn't want to go. So I said, okay, fine. Not a problem. Where do you want to go for dinner? And she's like, I don't care. Well, if there was a restaurant called I Don't Care, I'd be eating there every night of the fucking week.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I go down to 85, Jess. And I tell her, I say, okay, Cracker Barrel, Chili's, Texas Roadhouse, all three in a row. What do you want to do? Oh, let's go to Cracker Barrel. Okay. So we go to Cracker Barrel. We go inside, 10-minute wait for a table, even though there's nobody waiting around. And when I say there's a 10-minute wait, it was because there was nobody standing at the thing up front to see us. So I'm like, I looked at her, I said, I'm 30 seconds away from going to Chili's. And she's like, all right. And a woman from inside the restaurant halfway up shoos us with her hand, with a couple menus in her hand, says, come on. Well, all right.
She doesn't even walk out to greet you.
No, just she's where the area is where you walk into a Cracker Barrel and they're going to seat you right by the big display case of old fucking bottles of Moxie.
Mm-hmm.
She's standing at the fireplace shooing us in.
Okay.
So, and everybody knows this restaurant layout. It doesn't change city to city. So she's at the fireplace shooing us in.
You're walking by the Necco wafers.
Yes, that's correct. I was not. But so she gets us in there. We sit down at a table, which is fine. It has the fucking, golf tee game with only 12 fucking tees in it out of 15. That's how the fuck you supposed to do anything of this goddamn thing? So one waiter comes over and he says, can I get you a drink? I said, yeah, it's fine. I'll have blah, blah, blah. She'll have blah, blah, blah. Okay. And about 2 minutes later, he hasn't brought the drinks. A woman comes over to the table and says, "Hi, are y'all ready to order?" I said, "We haven't even looked at the menu, hon. Not yet." She said, "No, I meant for a drink." I said, "Well, some guy just came over and he took our drink order." And she went, "Ah," and walked away. All right.
So she made a lizard sound?
Yeah, basically,
She
yeah.
coughed
Just
up
without
a fur ball right there on the table.
All right. So the guy brings our drink and takes our order for food. And I specifically said what I wanted. She specifically said what she wanted. And they, after 20 minutes, bring her chicken tenders and mashed potatoes and what else the fuck she got. And I got the chicken fried steak because Cracker Barrel. That's what you get at Cracker Barrel. You get the chicken fried steak.
Well,
and it had the sawmill gravy on it. Yeah. And I ordered the macaroni and cheese, corn, and the broccoli and cheese casserole.
Oh, you've ordered the stool movers.
Basically, yes. Basically, I was ready for a good Shoney shit.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Guy comes there, puts the stuff down on the table, doesn't bring any dipping sauce for her nuggets. She asked for like 2 separate things. He brought nothing. And then as he puts my tray down on the table, he says, "By the way," this is great. He says, "By the way, we're out of the broccoli and cheese casserole," and walks away.
That's it.
What?
Okay.
Just so,
and I'm like, excuse me? And he turned around and says, "Yeah, sorry." Okay. And he kept going. So she's like, "I don't have any sauce for my tenders." I'm like, "Well, then stop eating your other shit and just wait." And we waited, and the guy came back after 20 minutes. Okay. And can I get some sauce for blah, 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 blah. And, it wasn't him. It was actually the manager. I pulled the manager aside after 20 minutes. That's what it was. I'm like, "Hey, could you just get some sauce for her here? And by the way, make sure I'm not charged for 3 sides because apparently you don't have blah, blah, blah." And he says, "Yeah, not a problem." And the manager comes back 10 minutes later with the sauces.
Wow.
Okay. We're now 40 minutes into this table that has 12 fucking golf tees on it. Okay. And drinking our drinks and beginning to pick at our meals and, sitting there and we're like, what the fuck are we doing here? She's done. I'm done. Another 20 minutes. We don't see the waiter. And I finally get the manager again. I said, "Can we get our check? Because we'd really like to get the fuck out of your restaurant." Okay. And he says, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong? I'm so sorry." I said, "Well, we haven't seen our waiter. I'm sure he's a good kid, but we haven't seen him since Nixon was in office." Okay. And then he tells us something just isn't available and throws my plate down and walks away. I had to come to you to get some sort of sauce because of her chicken tenders having nothing on them. "Sir, let me go ahead and take something off your bill." Said, "Well, that's great. I really appreciate that." "Thank you. We don't like people treated that way at our restaurant." I said, "That's great. Perfect." So I get the bill blindly, walk up to the fucking desk. He reduced the bill from $26 to $22.
He took the broccoli and cheddar off.
I think he took off the broccoli and cheddar and the complimentary water with extra ice. Okay. I think that's what he took off the bill.
It was lemon slice that did it.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm like, Cracker Barrel, look, if I want to get treated like shit, I would have stayed with my first wife. Okay. And, I didn't because I want to get treated like shit anymore. So don't expect that when I'm paying for the fucking food. Good God.
Yeah. So see, that's so your advice on a comment you might have said about sucking dick at Lowe's. When they said, "I've run out of the broccoli and cheddar and walked away," that's when I'm like saying, "I've run out of money. Sorry."
Right. You see, you said I would have run out of money. I was like, "Well, I've run out of give a fuck. So where do we go from here?" Okay.
It's fucking it really is unbelievable. It is really this way. And here's the thing. When you think that it's only happening where you are, then you hear Chris's story. Then you hear Jess's story. Then you hear it's happening fucking everywhere across the board.
Yeah.
It is. And it's, there's this.
Wally has frozen up.
Yeah, I was wondering what the fuck just went on there.
He He's really thinking about what he's trying to say here.
Wow.
I think.
Finally, today I'm not the bitch of the show. I love it.
Well, not now.
Finally.
I mean, didn't this happen last time or 2 weeks ago too?
Yeah, because the electricity went off at his house.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well,
he had to get on from his phone.
He's left the call, so I bet he'll jump on from his phone again.
Oh, that's fun.
Technology,
that's fun.
Man.
This is great.
Like, it allows us to do this, but there he is on his phone.
But we lost power. What's so funny?
I said
2 weeks in a row.
Didn't this happen last week or the week before? And Chris said, yeah, his power went out. And I said, yep, he'll be back on his phone.
You all got rolling outages up there?
No, I think there's a storm nearby. Because I'm looking outside at the trees and they're fucking dancing like crazy. The American flag out on the front porch is fucking blowing crazy. Yeah, it happened a couple weeks ago when we had clear skies. We got a clear sky storm, which is a bad news.
Yeah. How's your basement?
All right, be quiet. Don't jinx me. Don't you fucking jinx. Actually, it's doing pretty good. Since we've drained the pond down about a foot, we haven't had any incidents during rain. We've had a couple of heavy rains.
Well, good.
Though I do have the sump pump set up just in case. And I do have the floor drain plugged just in case, but I can unplug the floor drain and suck water out. But I think we're okay. But yeah, it looks like it's storming.
That's fun.
Thank goodness I got my phone right here.
Yeah.
See, look at modern technology is fantastic.
Can I talk to you more about Canada?
Oh yeah. I like Canada.
You know, I haven't been to Canada other than a trip to Niagara Falls with an ex of mine, which we stayed on the American side. I haven't been in Canada since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And, you know, there's something mystical about driving. You know, I left at like 5:30 in the morning and get up there into Canada. There's something weird about thinking, Jesus Christ, you're in another fucking country. You're in a totally different country. And there's a couple of odd things. When you cross the bridge, they ask you, why are you coming into the country? I said, A. And they said, A. All right. So not a problem. Those speed limit signs up there, you know, it's getting on. I'm like 110. I'm like, I don't think this car can do 110. I mean, I got up to 90 and the fucking steering wheel's shaking. And I'm like, God damn, how in the fuck kilometers. Fuck. I'm going 30 over the speed limit right now. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So I slowed down. By the way, the kilometers are I'm going to talk like my old man real quick. The miles per hour are in about 20 pica and the kilometers are at about 4. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you can't see a fucking thing. You just got to do a best guess. And so I'm driving along and I'm thinking, okay, listen, you know what? If I take the miles, the kilometers per hour, divide by about 30, I should be about okay. So, you know, or minus it by about 30 or so, I should be in the right area, which I was, thank God. So that was kind of interesting. But the food in Canada, everything is like packaged differently, even though it's normal food. Like I got some gum, Dentine Ice, and they have it in the package here of 2 things of 8, but up there it's 1 solid package of 16 in a blister pack. And like everything obviously has French and Canadian writing on it, but the same brand name does not mean the same thing.
Do you mean French and English writing?
Did I just say French and Canadian?
You said French and Canadian.
Well, that's probably the same thing, French and English writing on it. So like the Gatorades have weird shit on it. I got, you know, I'm like, I need some sugar, so I got some Smarties. Okay. Well, let me assure you, the package of Smarties that I got is not the same thing as you would have in America as a thing of Smarties. These Smarties are made by Nestle. I'm looking at them right now, and they look like M&Ms, and they have cream in the middle.
Oh.
Okay. And the best thing, though, was the Doritos. I got a package of Doritos that says limited time only, and also pour une durée limitée. The flavor, Sonic sour cream.
Really? How was that?
Are they good?
I've not opened them yet. Sonic sour cream, and it's got the old Doritos logo on the bag, even though it's a current product, seemingly. So yeah, I can't wait to taste it. But Sonic sour cream, I've got in my hands.
You sure you weren't in one of those American stores where they have the packages to save your life?
Right. Yeah. No.
What are those people called? The whole world's coming to an end, so we got to have our freeze-dried
survival
food.
packs.
Survival Doritos.
But I'm driving back into the States. I'm like, God, I really got to take a shit. And I saw a store that said duty free, and I said, I can't go there.
I like it. Have you ever? So when I was working on the Canadian border or on a border station, and would go over into Toronto,
right.
2 or 3 times a week. Huh?
I forgot you went up there.
Yeah. Well, I was living in Burlington. Well, I was living in Vermont, in Grand Isle, Vermont, but I was working in a northern in a upstate New York station, and I'd cross over. Milk in a bag, half gallons of milk come in a plastic bag.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they had plastic bag milk, which was weird. I think you could also buy cartons of milk, but the milk came in a bag, in a plastic bag, which was the weirdest thing that I remember seeing. And also, Tim Hortons always fucking you with the exchange.
Timmy's, I went in to get a frozen hot chocolate. The woman didn't know what I meant, and I said, "Okay, be well," and left. That was it. I was in and fucking out.
Yeah, we don't have. Do you have Tim Hortons in your area?
No, the closest Timmy's, there's one in Pittsburgh, and then you start seeing them in Western New York.
Oh, I thought those were only a Canada thing.
Yeah, they started migrating a little bit in.
We used to have a ton of them in Maine because it's a lot of French Canadians.
Right.
And we don't have any Tim. I don't know that we have any Tim Hortons left in Maine, except there could be some way up north, but there's none in my area.
There's a Timmy's credit card, and they were advertising the Timmy's credit card on TV. And I'm like, you've got to be. I guess it's like the Starbucks fucking card, but yeah. Timmy's credit card.
Yeah, no, the Tim Hortons is gone. So now we have Aroma Joe's is the new kid on the block here for coffee. And it's I guess it might be paramount to like Seattle's Best or one of those kinds of places.
Aroma Joe's?
Yeah. Okay, but they make a lot of those fucking iced drinks, a lot of those, Energy Blaster, Lemon Lime, Energy Blaster, Goji Berry.
I don't want to go into a place that's called Aroma. Okay, I don't. That's like, some ice cream shop popping up and saying, "Hey, do you want to go to the Moose Knuckle Creamery?" No, I most certainly fucking don't. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Dunkin'. If I'm going to get a buy you coffee, I do not like Starbucks that much.
I hate Starbucks. I'm going to Dunkin'. Yeah,
Dunkin' is it's not real big down in the South, but they just opened one really close to me, which I'm very happy about. In fact, I have a coffee meeting there next week.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is that going to be with the girl on your burner phone?
No. My new best friend.
And I like Dunkin'. I like the taste of their coffee. I don't like the whole. I fucking can't stand the when you go if you go to a Starbucks. So the Shaw's grocery store is affiliated with Starbucks, and so some of the Shaws here have Starbucks inside,
right,
in the store.
Like a cafe, like a Starbucks cafe.
Yeah, like a little cafe.
Yeah.
I think Target has them too.
Yeah.
But if you go in, on occasion, I would say, "Oh, you know what? I'd like on a cold winter day, I might like a coffee." I fucking can't stand that whole venti, grande. What I say, I want a medium coffee.
Well, you can say it that way.
Oh no, they give you shit here.
Oh no, they don't. They don't give you shit here.
Do you mean a venti? No, I fucking mean a medium. I don't like that whole pretentiousness. It's fucking coffee. And you stop calling yourself a fucking bare ass. You're a fucking server.
You mean a barista?
A bear ass?
Yes, a barista.
A bear ass. Hold on, I'd like to talk about this, Wally. I think there's something deep down rooted here that you walk into a Starbucks. Hey, bear ass, give me a venti, bitch.
That might be why I get bad service. When I say bear ass, and I snap my fingers. That probably isn't the best way to get service. Yeah, you snap bear ass. I would never. I have seen people at restaurants do the finger snap thing.
Yeah, no.
Dude, look, we're all from the age. I mean, I know your childhood was a little different, Wally, but I'm of the age of going into a restaurant with my grandfather, going into the Howard Johnsons, believe it or not, back in 1980, and my grandfather snapping his fingers, going, "Toots."
Oh,
fantastic. But here's the thing, though. Yeah. So I know we can't do that shit anymore, and I recognize the wrongness of it. However, during that time and that age, "Hey Toots" was a term of endearment, and it was respectful. I know it's not respectful anymore. Yeah, it was. It was better than saying "Hey bitch." Well, I think it was.
Listen, I guess if you're going to term it that way, you know what? A slap on the ass is better than a slap across the face. I mean,
for sure.
It's fine. It's fine. Hey, Toots.
It was a compliment.
I think because, listen, when I go to the fucking grocery store now, or no matter almost where I am, I get called hun all the fucking time.
Hey, I call people hun all the time. I call it because here, hun is a thing. HON, not HUN. Hun is a thing in Maryland. So, I mean, you go up to the register. Hey, hon, how you doing? I'm a good hon. How are you? Okay.
Here, it's you're an old fucking useless, can't do it yourself, pitiful. Like there, it's like saying, what do I want to say? Oh, he's so precious, or something like that. Oh, cunning. Isn't he cunning?
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
That's exactly
that's what it's equivalent to. Bless his heart means that's a fucking disabled piece of shit right there, and not disabled in the term of I'm differently able. Disabled in their fucking brain is not capable of figuring out what the fuck we do in this new world. I get called hun all the time, and I'm tempted to say, something like "yeah, toots" or something like that. My response in that way would be offensive. However, some 17-year-old girl calling me hun at the register because my hair is white is lovable and kindly and being considerate of my aged motherfucking self. No, I don't know that that was horrible, Chris. I think that was that was just the way it was. It's not like he was fucking grabbing her by the tit, right?
Grabbing her by the tit. Yeah, I don't know, Mr. President. You tell me.
He wasn't giving her a honk or something. I mean, let's face it. There's offensive and then there's offensive, and I think maybe toots. Well, maybe toots is offensive. I don't know.
Did I ever talk to you about that Family Guy skit about Richard Dawson?
But
anything with Richard Dawson has got to be funny.
Okay, so Richard Dawson, they're doing he's doing this thing where he would always, kiss the women, right?
Absolutely.
So somebody said, Peter did his thing and says, well, this is worse than the time when I hosted Family Feud. And he says to the woman, coming up, whatever, said something to the guy, got the guy's answer. The woman is standing next to the next contestant. Peter reaches across, says, all right, hon, good to see you here. Let me grab that one. Let me touch that one too. All right, go ahead and name something you find in a kitchen drawer. All right, you have 3 seconds. Go.
My favorite Peter moment from Family Guy, and I believe Peter has a stroke.
Yes.
And Lois comes in to see him in the hospital, and she says, how are you, Peter? And he's, seen better days, Lois. Seen better days.
That's the one where his eye is lower than his glasses.
Half of his face is lower than the other side. His mouth, he's drooling. Seen better days, Lois. Seen better days.
Oh, my God.
It's just a great fucking line. It's just a fantastic. So that's the kind of guy I strive to be, sort of. Just take it in stride. Make the best out of, what you have. Don't bemoan everything. Like sort of what we talk about quite often is people just fucking bemoan everything. They're fucking always miserable. I realize Peter's a cartoon character, but here's a guy with a stroke saying, I've seen better days, but all in all, I'm still here. And I think that's
I can't get out of my house because of FedEx and that fucking box, but I'm here.
Right. Exactly. It could be so much worse. It could be you could be like me right now, no power. I know Jody turned on the oven to make chicken parm that I prepped before he came to do the show. I prepped the chicken parm, and now we can't have chicken parm, and we're going to have some angel hair pasta with garlic and olive oil on it. Would have been delicious. No, not for me, and probably some asparagus. I didn't take out the veg yet, but asparagus takes, a minute and a half to cook. There you go. There's my whole dinner gone down the tubes, but I'll eat a couple pieces of cheese and maybe some salami, and I'll be fine.
You can make all of that on the grill.
Yeah, well, the chicken parm would be a little tough to do because you really want to have the broiler to put that last touch of golden on the parm, because I'm using real parm, not something fake. It's good shredded parm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you might be right, Jess. I could put that on. You know what? Look at that. The outlook just got better. You brightened my day, Jess.
See? I was just thinking about how back when I lived in Texas, there was a time where the power went out. There was like an ice storm or something, and the power was out for like a week because that time of year when that shit happens, there's already not enough crews, especially in a place like Texas, to deal with ice. And so the crews are like going from one city to the next, helping each city out. And so our power was out for a week, and we cooked everything. We made coffee on the grill. We cooked everything on the grill.
Yeah. So that right there, that shows a little bit your age and your life experience. Not that you're old. If you were 25 years younger, 30 years younger, you'd be in a panic.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh no. Fucking go put on the grill and fucking heat it up. You got this thing out there that shoots fucking 8,000 BTUs of energy. Mm-hmm. Right? So
it's just like cooking on a gas stove. Like you just put the pan on the grill instead of on the stove.
Listen, our gas grill gets up to 700 degrees. That's the and I've pinned it many times. If you want to make a good steak, 700 degrees, 2 minutes one side, 2 minutes the next, fucking perfect. If you can get it up to 700 degrees. The oven, the broiler, maybe 500. It says 550, but that makes the smoke alarms go off. Outside of the grill, 700, fucking piping hot, smoke smells great, perfect. That's the difference between being our advanced age of Chris 48, 47, Jess 50, me 60. Our advanced age of not being 22 anymore, going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
And let's not talk about age real quick. That remember I told you they did the article in the newspaper about me, about that bowling thing I did a couple weeks ago.
About how you used to work with me.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's finally, exactly, the guy that knew who I was and knew who you were, which is just amazing from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But so the article's finally printed yesterday. So it's in the Sunday paper because they do a Saturday Sunday paper here. So it's in the Sunday paper. And I look at it and it says, Chris Roth started duck pin bowling straight out of the womb. That was 58 years ago. And I'm like, God damn, we're 10 words in and we've already fucked up facts.
Now, you remember
goddamn words.
You remember last week when you said the Frederick News Post wanted to interview me, and I said, I bet that was a quality interview.
Yeah, well, I will be posting that on Facebook later on for everybody to see, because holy shit.
The mad irony about that is when you're fucking 15, you want to be 21 so bad. And when you're 48, you don't want to fucking be 58.
That is correct.
Until it's time to be fucking 58.
I mean, goddamn. And so, and the best part was, you got her father. Her father picks up the newspaper. He was the first one to see it. And he hands it over to Jenna and says, I know you like the older man. It's a little ridiculous, don't you think? It's like seriously, fuck my ass as it is.
He's like Jess's caller. It's like Jess's caller thinking Jess is some sort of the floozy. He's thinking, he's 10 years older than he told you.
This is Becky. Who's this?
This is Becky.
Jess,
hi, this is a 58-year-old guy. Hi, how are you?
Jess, when's the last time someone looked at you and said, look at that floozy?
It's
fucking around with my man.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm thinking. Hold on. I need to go to your website and look, Jess. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, there are certain names I haven't been called in a long time.
Like floozy?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been called a floozy. I get called asshole regularly. Oh, that's something I was posting the other day, or not the other day. So I have my cousin lives in Texas. I have a cousin lives in Texas. I think she lives in the Fort Worth area. I'm not sure. And she was retelling some sort of story, and I was mentioning how when I lived in Virginia and I had it was talking about how there's been this statism kind of thing where people are now, my state is better than your state. Texans hate Californians, and Floridians hate
everybody who's not Texan. Let's be real about that. That's always been true.
Hate these people. But I can tell you that when I lived in Virginia and I had my Vermont plates on, I fucking heard Yankee Go Home daily for a year and a half. I've never seen like a fucking Louisiana plates or Tennessee plates or Texas plates and said anything like Confederate go home or anything like that. I've never said anything like that.
That's because your people. That's because the Yankees won the war.
Yeah,
you don't have to be mad about it anymore.
Well, okay. So when I see like a Mississippi plate and a white guy, I don't go, bigot, go home. It's not something that comes out of my mouth. It's just I never think to call anybody a name based on where they live.
But maybe it should.
Man, when I lived in Texas, I was called Yankee nonstop.
Hell, at work, you had an IFB in your ear where the owner of the station was going Yankee, Yankee, Yankee while you were doing breaks.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. That was
man.
Really?
Oh my God, that man. We talked about Satan when I worked for Satan in Texas.
But I didn't know he was doing that while you had an ear thing in.
Well, no.
I did. That's Wally. That was called humor.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't recognize it.
It was a little joke.
I didn't. Now that you're 58, it's not as sharp. Your wit.
What?
Now that you're 58, your wit's not.
I can't hear you, Sonny. I can't hear you, Sonny boy.
The fact that you actually thought he couldn't hear you.
I mean, that's good, Wally. I mean, your personality has changed since you've gotten behind a microphone to a fucking telephone. You know that? Good fucking God. When is your electricity coming back? Holy shit.
Apparently he's powered by electricity.
Apparently, my God.
It must be. There's something in that electricity. Oh, by the way, so do you get, speaking of electricity?
Yes, we all have it, Wally. You don't.
No. For a while, we did the bring your bill down, switch to the solar. You buy into like the solar farm.
Yeah.
And so our electricity bill, the electrical supplier, which is CMP up here, that went to like $25 a month for the supplier because it's billed separately, supplier and electricity. The electric from the solar farm was like $400 a month. We said, fuck that. We changed out of it. It was ridiculous.
I thought solar was supposed to lower your bills.
Yeah, so did I. Hello. But no, it doesn't. And they give you credits to use. You pay for the credits, and it's all fucked up. Everybody's trying to fucking just fuck you with all of these solar power, wind power. I like the idea of solar power if it's on my house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the idea of them trying to pay for their infrastructure by overcharging me. We ended up paying about $120 more a month with solar than we were just getting it from the regular, fossil fuel guys.
Well, hold on, but I thought you and this liberal bullshit, you'd be okay paying more to offset the carbon and shit.
Fucking no, I'm not okay with it because most of our electricity comes out of Canada, so I don't give a shit about their carbon neutrality.
Oh, good God. When I was up in Maine, we had to deal with Bangor Hydro. Like, Jesus Christ, these fucking people. You'd think the electricity was water. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Electricity is weird in Maine. There's I think there's Bangor Hydro, there's CMP, and there's one other little one, and they have some independent stuff. But this whole switchover, trying to get the wind farms and all of that, just almost anywhere in the country, it's just so it's hinky. It's hinky somehow, and I'm not sure how, but they ended up getting it. So now we've signed up for a new one because you're always trying to figure out a way to save a couple bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think.
I'm hoping the new program, which says you'll save 10% on your energy bill. The other part is it takes you, once you cancel it, it's 60 days before they can actually cancel it. So your bill goes up even more.
Of course.
You can't cancel it right away.
Last week I was looking at the idea of getting solar panels on the house, but then it was like it costs about $20,000 or something to get started. Right. And I was like, okay, not this year.
But I think there's some, you ought to check. I think there's some grants available.
Oh yeah.
I think there are some grants available under the new Biden presidency.
Under the we gonna fuck you act. There's gonna be
right. Yeah, no, I think there might be some grants available. You should maybe give a little look at it. I mean, it's possible because you have some advantages. One, you're a woman, and there are more grants available to women in many cases, like loans and grants and those. And then there are the general male dick swinging population. Just don't tell them that you're a woman with a penis.
Okay.
Just let them know you're just a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That will be a problem if you say I'm a woman and I have a penis. That will be a problem. Just say I'm a woman.
Okay.
But there are some advantages, though, I think, to being that. Do you are you're a businesswoman, right?
Am I?
Yeah, you're a businesswoman.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, she likes the business. Go ahead.
Listen, there is no time that you can open a door that Chris doesn't walk through it. Thank you, Chris.
I try sometimes.
You make opening doors pleasurable.
Yeah, well, that's what they said when they were pulling in behind me.
You can't even close the door now. You can't even fucking close the door. No. It's not doable. Well, I'm very disappointed. I don't even. What time is it, you guys?
It is.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about that time. I'm feeling it.
We got I got a couple of things to say before we go.
Okay.
As I always do. First of all, let's shout out to Bob Barker, making it closest to $1 without going over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? 99 years old.
So appropriate.
Yeah. Just unbelievable. I cried in 4th grade when somebody said the guy from Price is Right died. And I'm like, oh my, and it was Johnny Olson, the announcer. And it wasn't Bob Barker, but now Bob Barker's dead. And, it's like, do you have any emotions towards Bob Barker dying? I'm like, 99, it was his turn.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's supposed to die. So, and the dad joke of the week, if you want it before we go.
Yeah.
If you'd like, now that it's some sort of
wait. One
tradition.
More thing. I want to hear your obscure celebrity of the week too. Do you have one?
The celebrity. I figured Bob would just take its place this week.
Okay.
Just take its place this week, unless you want me to just say the name Adrienne Barbeau. I can do that too.
Barbie Benton.
So, there you go. We're going to bring Twiggy into this next.
Twiggy.
And finally, the joke from my father, because he likes to sign off his emails that way. I will give it to you. And what do you call a fat psychic? That's right, son. A four-chin teller.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to the archive of John Roth for that one.
Okay.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, see you next week.